Hello and welcome to West Wales. If you're new here, my name's Becca and I make videos about crafting and life in West Wales. So this is one of my Life in West Wales vlogs, and today my partner and I have packed a picnic and we're off to explore one of the local beauty spots. So why don't you come along, see what we're up to. No self-respecting Brit can go on a picnic without taking a flask of tea. Proper tea is made in a teapot with tea leaves and boiling water, but you must always heat your pot first. Then it's 1 spoon of tea per person and 1 for the pot. Remember, if you're using tea leaves, you've got to have a tea strainer. And this is going straight into the flask. I'm going to take a separate jar of milk with us. We have arrived at our destination and we're doing a walk from this book, Walks for All, the Pembrokeshire coastal path, and we are doing walk number 15, Porth Gwaelog to Cwmni Iglis. So let's get out of the car and go and explore. The walk begins at Porth Gwaelog and it has a lovely little beach, but I have to tell you, it is always blowing an absolute hoolie every time we come here. But it's quite refreshing, so I don't mind it too much. It really does blow the cobwebs away. There's a glorious view, goes right back towards Fishguard and Goodwick. And if you're really lucky, you can see the ferry leaving for Ireland. The beach is popular with dog walkers year-round, but it is particularly busy in the holiday season, and there are ladies and gentlemen's facilities very close by and disabled parking spots right by the beach and also next to the toilets. There is a disabled access toilet which you will need a radar key for. One of the things I wanted to do when I started this channel was share disabled access walks, and the reason is my partner is in fact a wheelchair user, and in 2015 he suffered a life-changing brain injury which has left him quite disabled. So just come around the corner and it's not quite as windy, or I hope it's not quite as windy, so I can actually talk to you. And as you can see, it's a nice flat path and it's about 1.3 miles, I think it says on the map, and we find it just about perfect really for a nice Sunday afternoon stroll. And the sun has come out. It's still pretty windy, but then, you know, it's on the coast. So I'll turn you back around and show you a bit more of the scenery. So growing in the hedge all the way along here, we've got the start of the wildflower display, and they're very, very lovely. Just got the beginning of the bluebells. I mean, they will be in profusion in a couple of weeks' time, but it's just starting. So the very yellow is gorse, and then along there, that white fluffy stuff is blackthorn, also known as sloes. It's a type of wild plum which I use for dyeing, and you also make sloe gin with. I mean, that's really inaccessible, you won't be able to pick that, but good for the birds. So let's carry on a bit further. So this signpost shows you disabled access is basically along there, and then this is a little distraction for if you are somebody whose legs work. It's a very nice little distraction just to go down there. Let's go and have a look. Now this eventually takes you round to the car park again. So we won't go all the way up. We'll go back round because I do want to get to the other end of the path. Plenty of places to stop and have your cup of tea in your flask. Very interesting bench. What you're looking at there is some rather overgrown St George mushrooms, and it should go without saying that if you're not 100% sure of the ID of any mushrooms, do not pick them and do not eat them. I mean, these are definitely past their best, so I'm just going to leave them there. My partner's a little camera shy, so he doesn't really want to be in these videos, but he's quite happy for me to tell you a little bit about his condition, and please be aware that I am not sharing anything that he is not completely 100% comfortable with me sharing. We decided that we definitely want to come back here in a few weeks because this bank is going to be absolutely smothered in bluebells. We're just about at the end of this part of the footpath. Now the next bit goes across Caravan Park. If you are a wheelchair user, I have to tell you that the bit across the Caravan Park is very, very bumpy. And Andrew says he doesn't mind doing it on his mobility scooter that's got tyres with air in, but actually being pushed across it in his wheelchair is not very comfortable. So if you are intending to do this whole walk and you have a wheelchair user with you, or you are a wheelchair user, just be really, really aware of that. I will show you what it's like underfoot, and as I've said before, Andrew doesn't want to be on these videos, but he's quite happy for me to discuss things that he has said about being a wheelchair user going on these walks. Please note that dogs need to be kept on the lead when crossing the Caravan Park. And there you go, there's the bumpy stuff Andrew was talking about. And wow, what a view you are rewarded with as you come out of the Caravan Park into the village of Cwmni Iglis. In 1859, a great storm hit the coast and destroyed the church. And this is all that's left of it. This beach is popular with open water swimmers, and if you find yourself in Pembrokeshire, then look up the Pembrokeshire Blue Tits because they swim every single tide somewhere in Pembrokeshire. They're a friendly bunch and are always happy to welcome visitors to enjoy a swim in the wonderful seas around West Wales. There are very few residents who live in this village full time, but it is very busy in the season. So if you want it to yourself, then come in the winter. I was delighted to find a mermaid's purse, and this is definitely one for the sketchbook. I really enjoy keeping a watercolour record of the things I've found on the beach. There's a lovely bit of sea beet. Now I'm picking some of that. Grows all around the coastline, the British coastline. It's absolutely delicious. Back in the day, we used to have a farmer's market stall then we used to pick it and sell it to city folk who obviously didn't have access to it. If you're able-bodied, then this is a good starting point for exploring the Pembrokeshire coastal path that runs all the way along the coast of Pembrokeshire. There is a good circular walk around Dinas Head, but do be aware if you start here, they do charge for parking. Back the other way, and if you so desire, there is of course a pub at the end that serves teas and coffees and lunches and drinks, and pints if you fancy a pint. Here you go. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you really, really soon.